Welcome to Rock Spring Plantation. I'm Beth Almond Ford, the historian here at the Reynolds Homestead, and we'd like to give you a tour of our beautiful home. Come on inside. This is a photograph of R.J. Reynolds, who was born in this home. This is a photograph of his family. Nancy Susan Reynolds is the person who, in her later years, made this happen when she deeded the property to Virginia Tech back in 1970. Come on into the dining room. We're very fortunate here at the Reynolds Homestead that many of the family members gave back original pieces of furniture. I also want to point out some of the faux painting. This is a marbling look that was done throughout the house. That was very common during the Civil War era. It showed a sign of richness. We also have marbled look here, the burled look on the wood, on these chimney cupboards that held many of the glassware and table coverings for the family. This is called sandwich glass, and it was made in Massachusetts and was used by many of the upper middle class. This particular piece is called a celery vase, and believe it or not, it was really only rich people who ate celery during that period. I want to point out the original cornice that is here in the dining room and in the parlor. It is unique to this house and shows some of the elegance of Rock Spring Plantation. I'd like to point out the Union shotgun on the wall here. The family found the gun after Union General Stoneman and his raiders came through in April of 1865. During the tour of the dining room, we love to show our unique chair made in 1873. The chair transforms from a high chair into a rocking chair. This beautiful piece is original to the house. I think once they got it in here, it was not coming out. These fish bottles contain cod liver oil, which was the spring tonic for every young child. From the house, you can see the family cemetery, and you can almost see the grave markers of the plantation's slaves and their descendants. This is the parlor room where Mrs. Reynolds would have entertained her guests. The original pieces of furniture in this room, anything with the pink, the etagere with the seashells, and the piano are original to the family. The painting done by Edmund Coates around 1870 is part of the Hudson River School of Art. The sheet music, a gift from Nancy Susan Reynolds, belonged to Harriet Beecher Stowe, the author of Uncle Tom's Cabin, an irony for being found now in a southern plantation. This is Hardin Reynolds, the owner of the house and the father of the 16 children. This is a portrait of Nancy Jane Cox Reynolds, wife of Hardin. She was the mother of 16 children, 8 of whom lived to adulthood. 3 died of a smallpox inoculation given in 1860. R.J. Reynolds was the founder of R.J. Reynolds Tobacco. R.J. was also inoculated for the smallpox. He said it stung so much that he ran down to Rock Spring and rubbed the sand and the water in to take the sting out. And he always credited that with saving his life. A.D. Reynolds' son founded Reynolds Metals. These are 2 of the surviving children of Nancy Jane Cox Reynolds, and it was her granddaughter, Nancy Susan Reynolds, R.J.'s daughter, who gave this house to Virginia Tech. Nancy Jane loved seashells, and as travelers came along the Norfolk to Bristol Turnpike, they would bring seashells to Mrs. Reynolds. Let's take a look at the original master bedroom. In this room, we have the original bed, original dresser to the family, and also a cradle that was found in an outbuilding during the restoration process. Also original to this room is a small chest that Hardin Reynolds took along on his buggy as he traveled from his businesses. We also have a sewing kit. We like to point out darning eggs, also a darning egg for a glove. The lattice work is rather uncommon. It's called Backwoods Chinese Chippendale. And this is a time and light. There's numbers on the lamp and they would fill it with oil. They also used it as a courting lamp. They'd put an hour or two worth of oil in, and when it burned out, back over the ridge, buddy. The Reynolds Homestead includes the creamery, the granary, the ice house, the tobacco barn, and the rock spring. Next, we'll go to the outdoor kitchen. They were often built separate because of the fear of fire. Come on in. We have some early kitchen items. One is a hair curler, a rolling pin and bread bowl, an apple peeler, and containers for the herb garden, a must in any plantation kitchen. This is a portrait of Kitty Reynolds. When she was 15, Hardin Reynolds, the owner, was out in the field and a bull started chasing him. Kitty ran out and waved her aprons and diverted the bull. Hardin credited her with saving his life, and they promptly asked if she would be nanny for their children. One of the things that I find tells the most history are these divots you find in the side of the fireplace. That is where they sharpened their knives. I often liken this to a thermostat on a stove. You can pull it out and raise and lower to reach the appropriate temperature where they would bake cornbread, heat their water, in fact, cook their entire meals right here in the fireplace. People are often surprised to hear that this is a butter churn. These steps lead up to the room above where the cook lived. This is a trapdoor, but we now keep it closed. Thank you for coming to see us at the Rock Spring Plantation. Please come back and see us again.